Okay, so I'm going to start off with my own personal story first. Um, so this was probably in about, I would say, 2010, 2011. So I was about 10 years old. And I was living with I was in Germany, actually. And I had just moved back to the States, and my mom and brother were living in Arizona. And so we lived in a neighborhood that wasn't like really ghetto, but it wasn't the greatest. And we actually had just moved into that new house. It was a 2-bedroom house. So it was my mom, my brother, and myself. My mom, had been single since I was about 4 years old. So she had been dating quite a long time. And so my mom, when she would go on dates, she would sometimes stay the night or stay out for the weekend. And we didn't mind much, my brother and I, because we got the house to ourselves. And my brother was, 11, 10. He was 9 at this time. And so, on this night that I'm going to be telling you about in particular, it was around 7 o'clock, and my mom got all fancy and she left. We said our goodbyes, and as soon as my mom left, we started blasting our music, busted out the Nintendo 64. I started making us a feast of SpaghettiOs, toast, and some popcorn. And we were, set for just a good old, party. Just the two of us. And my mom, she let us know that she was probably going to be out until either really late or come back in the morning. So we played a few rounds of Mortal Kombat, and we lived on like an acre of land, and so we were pretty spread out from our neighbors, and so we could get away with pretty much being, as loud, rambunctious, having our music blasting max volume pretty good amount of the time without being bothered. So we, like I said, just having a usual night, and it gets to be about midnight, so we get ready for bed, brush our teeth, get in our PJs, all that jazz. And so we go to our room, and you can see we have a pretty big window in our bedroom. We share a bedroom, we have a bunk bed, because like I said, it was a 2-bedroom house. So we share a room, and it's bunk beds. And we have a pretty big window. And outside our window is like the majority of our land. Like our front yard wasn't very big, but the majority of the acre that we lived on was the backyard. And we, lived in the desert, so it was pretty flat back there, just a couple of shrubs and like a few cactuses, and this little like mount of dirt was in the middle of it. It was just like a dirt mound. So on this, night, the moon was really like big, and it like lit up pretty much the entire field. And so I called my brother over and I was like, "Hey, look how big the moon is," and he came and he was like, "Oh, that's cool." And so he goes to lay back down, and all of a sudden I see this person, and I'm like, "Whoa, that person is tall." And as the person, or, figure, starts getting closer, it starts walking into the brightest part that the field is lit up, and it's that dirt mound. And when I see the figure get closer to the dirt mound, it turns out that it looks to be, about 7 feet tall, or probably taller. And I've been out and played there, so I had a pretty, good guess at how tall the figure was. And it looked like it wasn't wearing any clothes, because I could see, like, its skeleton, like, I could see its ribs, and I could see its hip bones, and its skin was like this grayish, just washed out color. And it looked like it didn't have any hair either, like it was bald. So I start whispering to my brother, "Oh my gosh, hey, come look at this. Hurry." So he comes up to the window. I'm like, "Just don't like pop your head up. Like, I don't want it to see us or whatever." And he's like, "What to see us?" I'm like, "Shh, be quiet." So he looks over, and as soon as he gets his little head popping up at the window, it's just getting to the top of the mound, and it stops, and it looks at us. And as soon as it starts looking at us, we both hear this, like, just ear-wrenching, like, vibrating sound. And it's just staring at us, and it looks like it doesn't have a mouth. And it also has these, like, black, like, eye sockets. Like, no eyes. Just black. And we fall away from the window, and we get back up because the sound stops. And as soon as we get back up, it's still standing there. It stares at us a little bit longer, and then it just stops, and it starts looking back in the direction it was heading, and it just walks off. And so that is my experience, and I'm pretty sure that it was an alien. And even to this day, my brother has had a really hard time with a fear of aliens, and myself included. And ever since that, night too, I've had a lot of really weird experiences happen. Nothing quite like that, but I'll get into another one of those stories. But one of the things that happened from that night too is I started getting sleep paralysis really bad after that. And also, I used to pretty much be able to fall asleep quickly and, sleep a good, 8 hours. And ever since that night, I've had insomnia. Sometimes I'll go a day or two without sleep. I usually stay up till about 3 in the morning every night, just because that's usually when I get tired, is around 3, and I wake up early, so I probably get maybe 4 hours of sleep a night, if I'm lucky. And it's just something I'm used to. Like, I go to school and I go about my, life, no matter what, time period I have to be somewhere. That's just usually what happens. So, not all my videos are going to be long like this one, but I just wanted to start out with my own personal experience. So, in case any of you guys, have your experiences. I just want you to know I've been there. I have experienced this firsthand, and I know where you're coming from. So, if you, have any scary, stories, I'm gonna do most of mine about, extraterrestrial, UFO alien experiences. But if you have anything else that you're just not quite sure what it was, you could send it in to me as well, and I will link my email, how to contact me, in the description below. And this is my first video, and I have quite a bit more planned, so yeah, hope you guys enjoyed it, and I can't wait to get this thing started. Peace.